Do you think your stock price is too high?
No. We believe that this industry is at its infancy and there's a lot more to go.
Fair enough. So tell me about some of those prospects. I know you just signed a deal with a Burger King franchisee. What are you going to do in order to make sure that, this technology is deployable and usable and that you can kind of translate your high currency in the equity price into a sustainable business model?
We've been doing this for 12 years, and we understand what it takes to deploy charging infrastructure. It's about experience. We're the only fully integrated EV charging infrastructure company. We design, manufacture, own, and operate our charging stations. And it's very important for us to use state-of-the-art technology and stuff that's obsolescence-proof, because the last thing you want to do as an owner and operator of charging infrastructure is invest in charging stations, and then unfortunately, there's something more powerful or faster than them that's released. And that's why what we've developed is the fastest possible AC charging station. That's really the kind of hardware you're going to deploy in multifamily residential facilities, mixed-use areas, and that's what we've been focusing on.
I'm sure you saw Andrew Citron's short call on the shares last month. He said the valuation makes no sense. The company is a, quote, total scheme. He said that you're the most ridiculous EV stock, that you spend no money on research and development, have no real revenues, among other things. What's your response to that?
There's always been naysayers in every new business. Just like Tesla at its infancy had a bunch of naysayers, it's part and parcel of success. We completely disagree with the assessment. The bottom line is, if you look at the automotive market historically, it's the companies that produce vehicles that are most susceptible to bankruptcy. 99.5% of all vehicle companies historically have gone bankrupt. The companies that really take advantage and are the most profitable off transportation are those that supply fuel to the transportation system. And if you look at the markets, this is the stock markets, we look at them, the most valuable companies worldwide for the last 100 years or so have been those that supply fuel to the transportation systems of the local areas. And that's what we do at Blink. We're not taking the risk of investing in a possible vehicle that may or may not be successful. We're the ones who fuel all vehicles, every type of vehicle, whether it's a Tesla, a Cadillac, Audi, a BMW. And what we do is we partner with property owners. We provide charging infrastructure in those locations that's most convenient for the drivers. And most likely that's where they're going to charge their cars. And ultimately it takes time. We're investing in infrastructure. Today, the industry is at its infancy, and it's going to take time as more and more cars are on the roads, more of them will need our services.
Sure. So that said, if you're a 12-year-old company, like you said, your product sales in the third quarter, while they were up 74%, were still about $600,000. Is that right? So how quickly are we talking about for a company that has almost $1 billion valuation, getting that actual revenue to something much more substantial?
I think you're confusing the type of business that we are. We buy hardware, and we actually manufacture hardware, and we pay for it and deploy it in locations. We own and operate charging stations more so than selling it to third parties. So our business model is investing in today, putting charging stations in the ground in areas that require charging stations today, because there are some EVs, but we're waiting for the vehicles to hit the road for us to really kick in our revenue stream. Our business is about supplying fuel to EVs, not necessarily selling hardware. When you sell hardware today, you make a profit today, but you're not investing in the future. What we're actually doing is investing in the fueling stations of the future. We own and operate these charging stations under long-term exclusive contracts, some of them as long as 21 years in length. And we are the only exclusive provider of EV charging services at these locations. And as more and more cars are on the road that require EV fueling, that's where we're going to start making our revenues.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.